Next on America's Day at the Races, a marathon turf route is today's Belmont feature, while Pilara exits back-to-back graded stakes, seeking her first win in the States. Violet Blue broke her maiden in today's distance of 1 mile 3/8 on nearly a year to the day since her last victory. Can she return to the winner's circle in her third off the bench? And in the nightcap, paved with gold, looked impressive in her turf debut. She is the one to beat, and she faces winners for the first time to close out our afternoon here at Belmont Park. Welcome to the show. It is brought to you in part by America's Day at the Races, presented by America's Best Racing. For the love of the race, visit americasbestracing.net today. Good to have you with us on this Friday afternoon. Perfectly trimmed hedges right there. And it is Flag Day. Friends, family out barbecuing here, enjoying the festivities as we commemorate the adoption of our national flag back in 1777. Waving proudly here. The light wind on this Friday afternoon at Belmont Park. Greg Wolf alongside four-time Major League All-Star Paul LoDuca, New York Racing Association handicapper Andy Serling. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Good to see you both.
Happy Flag Day.
Yes, thank you. And our feature race today, Pilara comes out of a grade 1 and a grade 3. The last two tries. Now, it's a massive drop down in class. The one to beat, does she need to improve off those efforts to win today?
Well, I mean, and you know more than me, but she's been a little bit of a tiny bit of a disappointment. She really has.
Yep.
I mean,
Sure.
You bring her over here off a grade 3 win, and you think she's going to be a little bit more than she was. You know, Chad put her right in the EP Taylor, which is a prestigious race over at Woodbine, so he obviously thought a lot of her. Maybe they just went back to the drawing board. She'll probably going to be tough to handle in here.
She's obviously facing significantly
Yeah,
less than
exactly.
she faced in her two races. And you're right. They obviously had very high hopes for her. She didn't deliver. She didn't run terribly, but she didn't run particularly well. Beaten beaten 3 lengths in a turf race
not bad.
isn't as close as some people may think. But when you look at the competition today, there really isn't much. Unless Violet Blue shows up, I don't see who in this race can possibly beat her unless she can't run anymore, and that's not usually the case from that
true.
barn.
We will find out. She is even money morning line. That's coming up in race 8. We have the entire pick 4 that we're going to bring you this afternoon, and you can play along with us wherever you may be by getting signed up and started with NYRA Bets. $200 new member bonus when you bet $200 in your account. Use the promo code LIVE to take advantage of that. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime with NYRABets.com or download the NYRA Bets app. Track conditions for this afternoon, they're brought to you by Piranha Fly Spray, the preferred fly spray at Belmont Park. Piranha on, pests gone, the main track is fast, and our turf condition listed as good for today's action as we look at our races coming up for you this afternoon. So the entire pick 4 will bring you from Belmont Park. The late pick 4 is coming up here in race 6, and we're going to have action from Churchill Downs as well. We will check back in again with live on-site coverage from 2015 NHC Tour champion Jonathan Kinchen. We'll get to him in just a little bit. Let's take a look at our first race coming up here at Belmont, and this will kick off the late pick 4 here in race number 6. It is a mile on the turf, maiden special weight. We talked about a Chad Brown who's going to be even money or shorter in that 8th race. He's got one here that's going to be a very short price and is already. Doswell 3-5 just completely blew the start in her state's debut at Gulfstream, and she finished fast.
If she doesn't get badly left in the gate,
Yes, thanks.
He is almost a cinch to win this race. I mean, you can't break 4 or 5 lengths behind Fields and expect to win no matter how good you are. And he does face some real competition, particularly in the 9, the last zip. But if he breaks cleanly in this race, it's very hard for him to lose.
Yeah, it was a really bad beginning. We'll give you the start, and here it is. I mean, that's close to almost dwelting. They didn't put dwelt in there. They put hesitated start.
It's a good 4 to 5 lengths,
and
legitimately.
Here's the thing. He asked him from the start, and he got right into the bit. So if you look at it from, if you missed the first 5 or 6 seconds of the race, you're thinking, oh, he's sitting a pretty good trip right here.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty incredible where he ends up sitting.
And he had to keep him tucked in and really hold him. And you know, he did a good job, though, other than completely fouling, I think, the horse in red. You'll see him sort of shove that guy out of the way as he gets himself out. Boom, get out of my way.
Wow.
I mean, seriously. And
should have been DQ.
He really, I mean, that horse was obviously stopping. He probably should have been suspended or fined for that.
rolling.
But he was really flying in this race. And the winner's not bad. And the winner was able to control in the front end. So this is some race.
Yeah, so the horse who did win that race actually came back and was a little disappointing next time out. But a horse who was right behind him ran pretty good in N1X at Churchill Downs a couple starts later.
Got an 85 buyer and spotted the field 4 lengths. I mean, he could have run a buyer in the 90s. I mean, those are the kind of number that Pilara ran in her race against Maiden. So one of the reasons Chad Brown wins a lot of races, he's not just a good trainer. He's got some pretty good horses,
You
too.
got to love now that, you know, Chad's got his horses up at Saratoga. So he got this horse over the training track, and he got this horse at work over the turf. But let's not forget about his other horse in here that he has.
Yeah, he's got a first-time starter. We have our post-parade coming up, and there is the one. Perceived. Oftentimes, it's the other Chad Brown runner who's the biggest danger, and this is a son of Blame out of a Street Sense mare. Irad Ortiz Jr. will be aboard.
It's rare that Chad runs a firster against a horse that's shown some real ability and that the horse beats it, but this horse is a first foal, and the dam did not win in the turf, but she could handle it.
Oh, sorry, Noble Spirit, the 2-horse was scratched. Manny Franco, George Weaver.
Yeah, this horse is making his 3-year-old debut after running okay as a 2-year-old.
The big favorite, there's Doswell for Island Stable. Jose Ortiz, the return ride.
Yeah, 4-5 for the Son of Giants Causeway. We showed you. Very impressive last time out. Better break, probably the winner today.
Tamer, this horse was making up a little bit of ground in a race that had Kulik Bear, who's shown talent.
Yeah, I think his running line belies the race he ran. It was a very fast pace. He did break a couple lengths slow, though.
Tiberius Mercurius making start number 4 for trainer Mark Henning.
Yeah, you know, this horse probably wanted to go a little bit shorter than he did last time, although Mark debuted this horse at 1 1/8, but comes in with some good works. Dylan Davis jumps aboard.
Camouflage Kishers at 16-1, a second-time starter for Leo O'Brien.
Maybe the most interesting horse we'll see all year. There's 12 years between the first foal and this foal for the 7.
Foti, Eric Consell, David Donk at 17-1.
Yeah, not a bad effort first time out for the son of Scat Daddy with Eric Cancel. Came from way out of her for maiden 75, now jumps up to the maiden special weight level.
And the last zip on the outside has some very good races that make him dangerous.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he is clearly the other horse in this race, and if the 4 gets left again, this horse could beat him.
You can play along for free and compete for real prizes with the Showdown contest. It is at NYRA.com/showdown. Test your handicapping skills. Get some bragging rights. We'll post our leaders at the end of the show. And again, you're competing for real prizes like NYRA Bets points in your account. There's the big favorite. That is Doswell, part of a duo for trainer Chad Brown. He is 4-5 on the board. With more, let's check in with Maggie Wolfendale.
And taking a look at Doswell out on the track and before in the paddock, you know, he's a 4-year-old that's only making his 3rd start of his career with some gaps in between. Once again, we're having another layoff that this horse has to deal with. My main concern about this very short favorite is that, you know, not talent, it's more fitness. And 2, will he get out of the gate? But Chad always brings his horses over fit. It's just looking at him, he could look a little more tucked up, but I will say that he has been sharp. So you would have to think with that in mind, he should get away cleaner, at least Connections would hope so, as we'll take a look at Chad's other runner, first-time starter Perceived, and really outside of Doswell and the last zip, everybody else is a big price. This horse, I watched a workout from last year on the turf where he actually worked with Thais, a horse that's a pretty good older filly for Chad on the turf. So he handled it well. He moved beautifully over it. He's one of the most stockiest sons of Blames I've ever seen. He actually looks as though he might be quick. It's an experience thing and a fitness thing with him, and obviously talent. We'll see what he can do out there. But I would be a little bit afraid of him. I think he could be actually up towards the front end, as we are seeing him get a solo warm-up from Irad Ortiz. Coming back today is number 3, Noble Spirit, first time gelding for the George Weaver barn. Really hasn't changed him that much physically or mentally. He was a laid-back 2-year-old. He was laid back in the paddock again, though he comes in here fit. I like the mile distance. And then number 7, as Andy said, one of the more interesting horses running today as far as pedigree is concerned. Camouflage Kisser certainly has a turf pedigree as the only only other sibling. She was very good on the turf and synthetic. This horse looks as though he should appreciate it, and he looks fantastic. I mean, he has a coat, he looks like a copper penny out there, and he looks fit, and he looks strong. Gets Johnny V aboard, as we'll throw it back to you, Greg.
13-1 shot getting on the turf here in start number 2 that looks the part. We'll talk more about this field in a moment before they load up, but we're going to head to Churchill Downs. 8th race is coming up. It's 5.5 on the turf. Let's check in for the first time today with Jonathan Kinchen.
Wolfie, I appreciate it. The weather's beautiful. It's buzzing a little bit out here. Stephen Foster night tomorrow night. I found out something last night. Me and Greg Wolf have something in common. It's an addiction. It's not gambling. It's shoes. We both love shoes. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to start a little show parlay. I'm going to call it the Wolfie and JK Shoe Parlay. I'm going to start with 20 bucks. We're going to bet a horse to show in every show that me and Greg are on together. We'll split it 3 ways. Wolfie will get a third, I'll get a third, and we'll donate to the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation at the end of the meet, and hopefully we can buy some shoes at the end of the meet at Saratoga. We got the $20 right here on the 4 horse. Is my top pick here at Churchill. We're going to start turf sprinting in this race, and I love this horse and this spot. We're gonna look. Ska Mania. This horse started off on the dirt, was a claimer at one point, was running for 50, and now they switched him over to the turf, or switched her over to the turf, excuse me, and she ran huge. She's got a lot of early speed. She broke going 5 furlongs last time. She's going to 5.5 today. She gets Ricardo, a very aggressive rider, should get her out of the gate. There's some other horses in here that make sense. The 3 Coexistence makes sense, but Coexistence has a problem getting out of the gate. So I'm going to lean on the 4 Ska Mania, and I will see you guys trackside in a couple of minutes. Wolfie, you owe me $10.
I'm in, Jonathan. I like it. Shoe parlay.
I like it.
And the public all over Ska Mania out there tried the turf for the first time and took to it. So we'll see if that one can remain undefeated on grass as we load up back here at Belmont for the start of this late pick 4. So 4-5, Doswell has been odds on pretty much throughout. Andy, Paul, both going with the 4.
Well, I mean, I think we'll get our answer in this race at the start, whether the 4 can break or not. I wanted to just expand a little bit on the 7 horse, just because it's kind of interesting. The horse that Maggie's picking. I don't know if it's going to win, but the Dam Gimme a Kissy produced a very nice horse as her first foal, and it wasn't 12 more years before she produced her second foal, and that's Camouflage Kisser. You almost never see something like that.
It's pretty amazing. And
Dam won the Grade 3 Valley View.
Yeah, and the
Patty Cooksey aboard.
Well, the foal is also the dam of a horse who runs around here, Lawn Twist, who broke his maiden about a week or so ago.
Yeah, it's not a
so the dam, the half sister, the sister of this horse is the dam of another horse in their barn. It's a crazy situation. It's
it looks
weird.
like they were having trouble, by the way, with the 8, getting the 8 in, and I think they got her in, and they're. I don't know if Eric Cancel is going to get on the horse or not. I wanted to comment about the 1 because we've seen some of these Chad Brown horses come from Monmouth. Now, we saw one on the dirt the other day. I actually thought ran okay, come flying for 3rd in the middle of the racetrack, where the middle of the racetrack wasn't that good. So
Chad likes the Monmouth surface for training, and he has obviously a big stable down there, and he's got a lot of horses. So he has some stabled at Belmont. Obviously, there's a lot of 2-year-olds and a lot of horses in Saratoga.
I just want to let it deter
but he likes
you
training.
like a horse.
No, he likes training at Monmouth.
Yeah.
No, he's got plenty of good horses there.
Yeah.
Maggie said looked like built for some speed, and it's shown some bullet works on dirt, training over at Monmouth, talking about the 1 Perceived, who's about to step in.
Yeah. Yes, no, absolutely. You should not be worried if some horse of Chad's is training at Monmouth. He's got plenty of horses that can run there.
All right, let's check in with Maggie and see what's happening here with the 8 Foti.
And guys, it looks as though they're having an issue or had an issue with the bridle on Foti. So instead of trying to fix that while loose, or I should say without a enclosures, they decided to put him in the gate. So therefore, they have more control to fix the equipment. It looks like they're getting the blinkers back on him now. So smart decision by the gate crew as we see Eric Cancel standing by. And hopefully the equipment is A-okay and we'll load the rest of the field.
All right, so Eric Cancel patiently waiting for the gate crew that is one of the best, if not the best in the business, to do their thing here with this second-time starter, son of Scat Daddy.
They keep an extra bridle, extra set of blinkers right there at the gate in case something does break, and to keep the horse quiet and still while he's in the gate. And obviously he's good gate horse. They're taking care of the equipment problem while he's in there, so he can get it all done and nice and easy. So yeah, you're right. I mean, they're the most unsung heroes on the racetrack. Believe me.
It is not an easy job what they got to go through, and
they
some
break
of the nicks and
they break a lot of limbs.
They have absolutely.
Yeah.
Tremendous job to help the races go off each and every day. Starting gate crew at every racetrack around this country. 3-5 on the 4-horse Doswell for trainer Chad Brown, making the second career start here in the States, third start overall. Will he break through here in start number 3? We're about to find out. Let's send it upstairs for the start of the late pick 4, the voice of New York racing, Larry Collmus.
Last few runners coming up to the starting gate here as Tiberius Mercurius goes in. Camouflaged Kisser will be the next one into the starting gate. And with Foti already in there, the last zip will be the last one to load. 4-5 on Doswell as the last zip and Joel Rosario come up to the outside stall here, a little bit hesitant to do so. But now they step forward and in, and they're all in line. They're off. Doswell came out sharply. Farther out, the last zip is sent along to show some early speed. Camouflage Kisser and Tamura right there. Then comes Tiberius Mercurius, followed by Noble Spirit and Foti on the outside. The first are perceived as last as they hook up with the backstretch, and the leader is the last zip. Sent to the front here by a length and a half over Camouflage Kisser as they continue their journey up the backstretch. Then Doswell in third. 23.58 that opening quarter mile. Tamur is next. Tiberius Mercurius in the far outside. Noble Spirit in behind them. Then it's Foti, who's got 5.5 lengths to make up and leads perceived by 3.5 lengths up the backstretch. The last zip on top. Camouflaged Kisser a length and a half behind, moving for the turn. Then Doswell on the inside. Right alongside is Tamur. Tiberius Mercurius 3 deep into the turn with 3 lengths to make up. Noble Spirit saves ground behind them, and then comes Foti, perceived as last, a bit closer though, 6.5 lengths behind, as the last zip has led throughout here after a 48.1 half. Coming toward the top of the stretch, Tiberius Mercurius makes a 3-wide rush after this pacemaker. Doswell just waits on the inside, 2.5 lengths from the front. Foti circles up on the far outside, then Camouflage Kisser. Down toward the inside comes Noble Spirit. They're into the final furlong, and getting more here is the last zip. Still there with a furlong to run. Doswell on the outside kicks it in and is coming on now. And these two will decide it, the last zip and Doswell. And the last zip is holding off Doswell to win it a half a length. Then Tiberius Mercurius and a photo between Perceived and Noble Spirit.
The last zip, Joel Rosario, gate to wire for the win. Jose Ortiz waiting patiently, trying to find an opening, and then ran out of room.
Yeah, I think he was too patient and too confident with Doswell. Then the last zip got away from him, and it's just the bottom line. He finished home nicely here in about 23 flat. But to me, Doswell had that position, and he just lost it. And to me, he could have got out way sooner.
And when he broke as sharply as he did, he probably should have got a little off the rail and allowed himself to have a chance to beat this horse. He just left him with too much to do against a very good horse.
Yeah.
5-2, second choice on the board with the win. 9-4, looks like the 6 for third, but it's close. We'll make it official when we come back.
Runhappy is simply super. He polishes off an outstanding campaign with a dominant victory in the Malibu.
No medication, no problem. Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Trap Shot, a graded stakes winner and multiple Grade 1 performer by Tappet. His 10 stakes horses last year included Grade 2 winner and track record setter Hot Shot Anna, plus graded stakes performers Untracked and Beautiful Shot. At the sale, his 2-year-old sold up to $290,000. This year, he's added stakes winner 6-shooter to his list of recent winners. Trap Shot, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Welcome back to America's Day at the Races. We're about 1 minute away from the 8th here at Churchill Downs. The track announcer just agreed with me. We're 1 minute away. We talked about it in the paddock. The 4, Ska Mania, trying turf for the second time. Loved it last time. I think the horse will love it this time. Broke well going 5. Now they're going 5.5. Ricardo Santana should get this one. I'd be surprised if this one wasn't on the front end. A couple other horses to mention I think are interesting. The 1 Pastime makes a lot of sense at a good price on the rail. I'm worried about horses that don't break that quickly from the inside, turf sprinting. I'll have to pass on the 1. Obviously, a good use underneath and tries, supers and exactas. The 3, Coexistence. Another one has a problem getting away from the gate down inside. Not crazy about that. And we have to mention the 6, Ficanis for John Sadler, who's got a runner, probably the favorite tomorrow in the Stephen Foster. This horse is interesting, but keep in mind, this horse's success has come going 6.5 down the hill at Santa Anita. Plays very similar to a mile race. This is 5.5. Will be running late, probably a little bit too short. Greg, back to you.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. So 2-1 favorite, Ska Mania. Tried the turf last time out for the very first time. Got to the winner's circle as the favorite. Now favored again. He just steps in line. She does, I should say. Daughter of Adios Charlie for Al Stahl. Ricardo Santana Jr. rides. Let's go to Travis Stone for the call. Here's race 8 from Churchill Downs.
Jane. They're in the gate. And they're off. VJ's Bet with a good start to the outside. Mid-pack Scamania races up. Coexistence with an alert start 2. Pastime flashing speed toward the rail. Down the backstretch. Coexistence goes head-to-head with Scamania. VJ's Bet comes on to be 3rd. Pastime inside 4th. Dance Rhythms is 5th. And then it's Riverside Walk wide in 6th. Ficanis advancing inside from 7th. 4 lengths back, Juju Special Girl. Calamity Jane, the last of them all. They're on the far turn. Coexistence showing the way now. Scamania 2nd on the outside. Pastime set to strike. In behind, Wild 3rd needs to find a way out. Finds a seam now. Comes up on through and comes after Coexistence for the run by the quarter pole. Coexistence off the turn in front. Pastime pops outside 2nd. Scamania fighting on from 3rd. VJ's Bet down the center of the course in 4th. Ficanis in behind, trying to rally late 5th. 1 furlong to go. Pastime puts a nose in front. Coexistence battles on. Ficanis splits rivals. VJ's Bet center of the course. Wild finish. Here's the wire photo. 3 noses on the wire. Coexistence, Pastime, Ficanis. VJ's Bet was 4th.
Very tight at the wire. Might have been Coexistence here for trainer Joe Sharp.
That was a very game run down the stretch, right? It looked like Pastime set that perfect pocket trip, and Corey Lannery couldn't have ridden her any better. She angled out like she got by, and even Travis said she got by in mid-stretch, and I think he's right. But Coexistence appeared to battle back on the inside and hold on for the victory.
Yes, she did. In Pastime, 0 for 14 the last 2 years, and it looked like she had the nose in front to get that 1 win, but that winning spirit of just not wanting to go by. And then the 6 started to get going late, but she was just grinding more than flying. And you see, the one's in front. She's in front right there.
Yeah. You know, Coexistence, we were talking about it before, and Coexistence had that outside post last time, and this is something Richie used to always talk about, right? Horses breaking to open spaces, and I think that was one of the reasons she broke slowly last time, and often you think an outside post is good for a horse to break. She may have broken out a bit, and I think that's why she got left last time, and it put her in a chase position, and she broke very sharply today in a nice ride.
4-1, if indeed she does hang on for that victory. And yeah, unofficially posted 3-1-6-9, 4-1 on Coexistence. Meanwhile, back here at Belmont Park, the last zip breaks through, gets the maiden score, $7.70 for the win.
Good horse if you're one of those people who uses 2 in the pick 4s or pick 5s, right? Because the clear other horse besides the favorite.
Rick Cantor, Joel Rosario, he's got 2 wins this afternoon, and Mike Stidham, your winning connections. We got a New York bred race coming up. We have 2 more actually left on the card. New York Thoroughbred Breeding and Development Fund Corporation. They offer incentives and awards for horses who are foaled in New York and who remain here to race. It's a very lucrative program with many purse bonuses available, which makes going with a New York bred A no-brainer, a new face on the New York scene to consider is Central Banker. Precocious on the racetrack, he's off to a very fast start at stud, as well as Tracy Egan explains.
This very well-balanced son of Speightstown already has more than 20 winners in 2019. And as of Kentucky Derby week that year, Central Banker was number 3 on the worldwide second crop sire list.
We've had, several maiden special weight winners subsequently. But, it's a great group of horses in the second crop sire list, and Central Banker is certainly one of them.
It's going to be Nico's Dream from well off the pace to win it.
Newly minted wins it for fun.
If you think all the Central Banker winners look alike, well, it's the same way with his foals back on the farm.
They're very correct. They're very medium-sized, very good conformation hind leg. They also are very well-mannered foals and yearlings.
With consistent foals and winners, Central Banker is expected to cover 134 mares in the 2019 breeding season.
He was a leading freshman sire among New York breds and ranked top 10 nationally as well. We'll see how season 2 gets off for him. We'll continue to follow. We'll be back. We got more coming up from Belmont and Churchill next.
This successful son of A.P. Indy has sired 6 millionaires, including Eclipse champion West Coast. This year, Flatter is adding even more stakes winners to his outstanding record at stud. In the auction ring, Flatter topped the 2018 Fasig-Tipton July sale with a $520,000 yearling. And this year, his juveniles have sold up to $375,000. Success on the track, success in the ring. Flatter, standing at Claiborne Farm.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you. Live it, love it, bet it.
So my name is Robbie Herzl. I'm the yearling manager here at Claiborne Farm, and we've got the first crop of Runhappies this year. Overall, I'm very, very pleased with them. So we have a colt out of Queen of America. He's really nice, looks just like his dad. Very pleased with how he's coming along. So there was a lot of demand for the weanlings last year. They sold for over 6 times their stud fee, and we're really excited for the yearlings to come through the sales, and we're expecting big things from them.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Tom Durkin letting you know New York breds start with an advantage. At the sales, buyers pay up to 7 figures, and there's over $2 million in stakes money limited to New York sired horses in the New York Stallion Stakes Series, like the Park Avenue for 3-year-old fillies.
Newly minted wins it for fun.
For fun and money. The winner's share generates an additional $55,000 from the New York Breeding Fund.
Funny Guy's gonna do it.
Funny Guys winning the Times Square division generates the same money. So get with the program at nybreds.com.
Welcome to America's Day at the Races, and welcome to those just joining us on Fox Sports 2. Good to have you with us. Our show brought to you in part by America's Best Racing, the go-to site covering the sport and lifestyle. Visit americasbestracing.net today, and by Claiborne Farm, 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. Greg Wolf, 4-time Major League All-Star Paul LoDuca, New York Racing Association handicapper Andy Serling here on the desk at Belmont Park in our 7th race here. Coming up, we have a good one. Sprint on the main track for New York breds. Rally Cap coming off a dominant win last time out. The horse to beat in here, but now in a new barn.
Yeah, a new barn claimed for $40,000, and these are now New York breds. And he's going, to me, into a tougher spot than he was in last time. And I get it. He won by 6 3/4 lengths, but he was supposed to do it that day, Andy. This is a tougher field, at least when it comes to pace-wise, because he possesses early speed.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree totally. I guess, this 8 Bus and Shout, I guess, will be stalking in here, because I think he buried his chief competition that's in this race in Stinkman, in my opinion. But then again, that was a sloppy track, too. And here's my other question, Paul. His race 2 back was a real stinker. Does that worry you? That worries me a little bit.
Well, what worries me is that he's been the favorite a lot, and he's disappointed a couple times, but he also has given the bettors what they've wanted twice. So I've got mixed emotions on him. He's run some big races, but then again, you're right. Was it the sloppy track? Was it the maiden 50s when he won? Stinkman ran well out of that race, but that was a little bit of a drop.
It was a drop, but Stinkman also put blinkers on, and maybe he woke up with the blinkers, and maybe Stinkman liked the dry track, because the Stinkman that ran against, as you can see, against Shock Therapy or Rally Cap in this race, is not the same Stinkman we saw last time out. It's clear if Rally Cap runs this race, he's going to win, but I just don't trust him, and you don't sound like you do either.
No, I don't. I really don't, because there are races there. I get it. That's why the horse should be the favorite, but the horse is changing barns too, and to a good barn, but you never know, you know?
Well, you mentioned that equipment change with this one right here. Stinkman for Linda Rice. Added blinkers last start and looked like he became a new horse. Here's Linda Rice winning the last time in a dirt sprint in a claiming race the last 5 years.
Wow.
34%. That is very solid.
With 110 starts, I mean, it's astounding. It shows that they not only maintain their form, arguably they improve, right? I mean, the horses are paying basically $8, and they're winning at a huge clip.
They have to improve, too, because if you think about it, they got to go through their next condition.
They're moving up most of the time,
they're moving up, and it's unbelievable. That's a crazy stat.
Time for a paddock report. We're going to head downstairs and go to Maggie Wolfendale.
And we'll take a look at the current favorite here in the paddock. That is number 6, Rally Cap. First off the claim for trainer Merkant Cantamasi. And look, Rally Cap is a horse who always gets washed out, always is a little bit of a naughty sort here in the paddock. So if you see that, really don't take caution. He's always like that. And he looks really much the same as he has when he was in his good form for Ray Handel. I mean, let's face it, it's only been a day or two, over a month since he last ran for his previous connection. So look, I have nothing against Rally Cap here, as he will get back on a fast track this time around. Now moving on to one of 2 Linda Rice horses, and I definitely think Stinkman is the stronger of the 2 by far, as the form would suggest. But number 2, Dr. Lloyd, was eased and vanned off last time out, trying to stretch out, albeit to a mile. I also have a vague memory of this horse being a late scratch, possibly when he was supposed to make his first start, maybe in the late winter time of 2018. So there must be some issues, as once again we're having a layoff here. He could look a bit more fit. He's not a bad-looking horse by any means, but I just feel his fitness levels could be a little bit more as he comes back off the bench. Now, a horse that's going to be a big price is moving from turf to dirt, and he actually broke his maiden. That's number 7, Gemography, last time out. When getting back on the turf, first off the claim for Bruce Brown, and I asked Bruce, well, why back to the dirt here? And he's like, there really wasn't that much difference between his dirt and turf numbers. So this is a race that came up. He's doing well, and let's keep him with New York breds. This is a very logical kind of next spot for a horse who wins a maiden 40. And I have to say, this horse looks fantastic. One of the best times I've seen him. He really has put on a lot of muscle weight. He's going to be a price in here. He's going to have to improve. I get it. But maybe, Greg, he's moving in the right direction.
We will find out. 13-1. Coming off the maiden victory on a different surface, as mentioned. That was on turf. Now back to the main track. You'll get rewarded if you like them this afternoon. We'll have more coming up, including a post-parade here from the 7th race in just a little bit. Back at Churchill Downs, it was Coexistence winning the 8th race at 4-1, returning $10 for the victory for trainer Joe Sharp.
Yeah, congratulations to this daughter of violence and the Empire Maker Mare, Queen of Empire, Highlander and Training Center. Congratulations to them. They've put blinkers on this filly, and now she is 3 for 6 with them on, so congratulations to them all.
Funny horse, because she was running in route races when she was in New York with Chad Brown, and it turns out that she was a horse that didn't have a lot of speed going long, but she's got a lot of speed going short.
Yeah.
Completely different horse. It's kind of a neat horse to look at.
Showed some guts to win the race, too.
Nightcap at Churchill, mile and a 16th, $7,500 claiming race, and Unstabled is the current favorite for Thomas Drury Jr. Corey Lannery aboard. Struggled on the slop at Keeneland. Before that was a winner on synthetic at Turfway Park.
Yeah, Malcolm Franklin, the usual jockey, but Corey Lanery has ridden this horse before to a win at Churchill. The horse is the horse to beat, and Tom Drury is a very, very good trainer that a lot of people don't know about.
All right, we'll have that one coming up in a post parade for the 7th at Belmont. We'll be back. Can Gemography make the switch back to dirt off that maiden score on turf? We'll be back.
This is a colt by Runhappy out of Addison Run. We bred here at Montfort Hall. Well, he's a big, strong, good bone, big old hip on him. Moves really well, has that kind of big cat-like walk when he just relaxes and gets rolling up and down the lane.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farms.
An undefeated graded stakes winner on the track, Algorithms now ranks among the leading active sires by percentage of winners to starters. His top runners include multiple stakes victor Recruiting Ready, winner of the Grade 3 Gulfstream Park Sprint Stakes, graded stakes winner Rich Mommy, multiple stakes winner Taylor Spirit, plus these recent stakes winners. In the ring, his 2-year-olds have sold up to $275,000 this year. Algorithms, standing at Claiborne Farm.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you. Live it, love it, bet it.
Back on America's Day at the Races, brought to you in part each and every day by the champion sprinter Runhappy, now standing at Claiborne Farm. $25,000 at a legendary stall #1. And we'll see his horses go through the sales ring this summer and see him on the racetrack as 2-year-olds in 2020. Our 7th race post parade coming up on a beautiful day here on this Friday afternoon in Belmont, New York.
Yeah, we had
set for a good weekend coming up.
Yeah, we had a tiny bit of rain yesterday, rain last night, but wow, you're right. Sometimes the rain just brings it even greener and greener, and the flowers are starting to change around here.
Rain really threw off the Mets last night, huh?
Yeah, suspended game starts at 6:10 today.
They were trying to finish it. They were up 4-2.
Yeah, it was crazy.
They somehow got that last half an inning in while we were watching the NBA Finals.
So
very disappointing.
As soon as we're off air,
right,
tune into that game at 6:10 and 4-4. Right, it's 4-4 suspended.
Here's Shock Therapy, Joel Rosario. He's already got 2 wins today, riding for Charlie Baker here.
You know, Shock Therapy is a horse who's improving a little bit, and I don't think it's impossible if it's a fast pace.
Dr. Lloyd, he's intriguing for Linda Rice. He's been off since February. He was vanned off last start.
Yeah, he had a bad start, and then Junior Alvarado just, did good by the horse and just pulled him up out of the race. So he comes back awfully off since February and is getting bet a little bit.
Here's his stablemate, Stinkman, also for Linda Rice. Rajiv Mirage aboard, added blinkers last start and looked very good, Andy.
Yeah, it'll be a real question of whether or not it's just a new horse with the blinkers. We'll find out more today.
I saw it all. Gary Contessa, runner. He dropped in for a tag last time out, and he broke his maiden.
Yeah, he got the job done. Both times he was in for a tag, he got the job done. And he's got to look in here if this race was to break apart at the end. He's another one represented by the sire of the Lumber guy.
Here's Fleet Warrior. He comes out of the Mike Lee, which was a little bit beyond him.
You know, his race 2 back would give him a real chance here. You just have to wonder if he can run as well for this current trainer as Robert Tross had him for that race, or Atras, excuse me.
Rally Cap, he's 6-5, and he has faced some tough runners, including Funny Guy and Hushin a few starts back. Funny Guy was second to Blind Willie McTell and the Mike Lee.
Yeah, this is the gelding to beat. The Rally Cap has completely changed. Used to be backwards. Now it's just like guys put cups, stuff, all kinds of stuff,
You like the original look, though, right?
Just put it on backwards, yeah.
Gemography, Irad Ortiz Jr., Bruce Brown. This is the horse that broke his maiden on turf last start.
I actually agree with the point that Maggie said Bruce Brown made to her, that he may be equitalented on either surface. I just don't know if he's good enough on either surface to win this race.
Another kind of X-Factor horse coming up. He was east in his debut and then made an equipment change, and he went gate to wire in the slop last start.
Yeah,
Shout.
He was good. Last time out, and he got bet first time out against 50, so He's got a lot more speed to deal with today, but he might be the outside speed.
15-1 on the outside runner. Threat loves Midnight. Todd Pletcher.
You don't see too many Todd Pletcher horses break their maiden in $10,000 maiden races at Laurel.
And comes out of a route race on turf. Shortens up now on dirt. Was second to Fleet Warrior, the 5, in his most recent dirt start. We're going to take a break. When we return, Belmont, he's got double trouble coming up this weekend at Churchill Downs. A late in the Fleur-de-Lis. And Yoshida returning from Dubai for this Stephen Foster. We'll talk about both races when we come back. Stay tuned.
Warfront, a leading sire on all surfaces and all fronts. His recent Grade 1 winners include Omaha Beach, Homesman, Fog of War, Lancaster Bomber, and European champion U.S. Navy flag. Plus Preakness Stakes winner War of Will. And these recent group and graded winners. Sire of the highest price yearling sold in North America in 2018, this son of Danzig continues to dominate both on the track and in the sales ring. Warfront, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Into the final furlong of the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity, and Classic Empire wins it in style.
Here's the wire. Classic Empire. He's a champion 2-year-old.
Here's the champ, Classic Empire. Classic Empire.
Whether you have Derby dreams or Midsummer Derby dreams, this is Tom Durkin to tell you a registered New York bred can take you there.
Diversify.
That New York bred Exact and the Whitney by multimillionaires Diversify and Mind Your Biscuits shows the kind of quality that allowed New York breds to earn more than $93 million on the world stage last year. On-track successes have spurred New York bred sales result. At the March OBS sale, Chestertown sold for $2 million. And this New York bred 2018 yearling brought $1 million at Saratoga. So get with the program at nybreds.com.
Runhappy was the fastest 3-year-old sprinter of his generation.
Runhappy is stamping his horses. And they all got great necks, great hind legs. They all got a good walk, and this colt moves very, very well. Very smart. He hasn't turned a hair since we had him. First day we turned him out, he was very, very gentle in his paddock and did everything right. He's got an exceptional pedigree.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
You're watching America's Day at the Races on Fox Sports 2, MSG Plus, and other regional networks across the country. That is Rally Cap, our 6-5 favorite. And coming off the best performance of his career, was on a sloppy racetrack, and it was in a different barn. Can he keep it going here in the new barn on the fast going?
Well, this barn, the Merton Consermasi barn, has done a very good job in New York over the last year on the dirt. So I'm not overly worried, even though I think Ray Arnold does a good job. He's run well on dry tracks before. But Paul, I just keep going back to his last dry track race where at 3-2, he ran it very poorly, and it just makes me feel he's a little untrustworthy.
Well, the other part is he doesn't really break great. Now, it says he broke 9-9 last time, and then he rushed up. He wasn't like, he just broke a little flat-footed. Is this the way he is? A couple other times he's broken well, so you have to deal with that too. He doesn't really love the gate. So at 4-5, if he doesn't get out of there too quick, you got the 8 that's pretty quick. Now you got the 3 Stinkman, who won from just off the pace going 6.5 furlongs last time out and might have got some confidence.
I think he runs his last race, he has a chance to win this race. That's the key, but can he run back to that last race?
And we'll find out. He put the blinkers on.
He got him to rate, didn't it? Got him sharper, right?
Absolutely. And he's 5-1 right now. His stablemate next door, Dr. Lloyd, I think he's interesting. So he faced a horse named Stonebreaker first time out. That's a horse who won 3 straight and then gets away from that horse. That was on a muddy track, by the way. Gets on a fast track, and he errs by 5 lengths. Then he was vanned off, so we don't know what he could do after that on the stretch out.
Yeah, I don't know how good that win was two back. It was a very weak field. Nobody has come out of that race to run particularly well, but he did win very easily, so I think he's the total wild card in this field.
He is. He is. And I put my pick on him because he was so good in that maiden special weight. I thought he just controlled it from the outside, and he won so easily. And I'm wondering if there's something happened to him, and So obviously he went to the sidelines, but I'd like to see what Maggie thinks about him.
Well, Maggie was right. He was scratched once, but I don't think – I thought he was scratched early, but I could be wrong.
Maggie has more for us. Let's check in with her now.
No, I mean, Andy, I know what you're saying, and I'm usually really good about writing down late scratches and when they were and why. But none of the days that he ran, I was here. I was off. But I have notes on him. So therefore, that leads me to believe, talking about Dr. Lloyd, that this is a horse that I think was a late scratch first time out. I don't know why, but I'm almost certain that he was. I checked with our veterinarians, our attending veterinarians, and they didn't have any notes on him to let me know because it was so long ago. But I'm pretty sure about that. As I'll take a look at number 8, Bust and Shout. I'm talking about one that was easy. He was E's first time out. Then he came back with a bit of a makeover. He lost the blinkers, and he also lost something else. He came back as a new gelding, and it did the trick with Mike Luzzy aboard. This is a horse that has a serious pedigree, actually, as far as New York breds are concerned. Fooled him as Hot Stones as well as Stretches Stone. I'm wondering if, the light bulb went off last time. He looks fantastic here once again. He's a big price too on the Todd Pletcher trainee. Saw Todd in the paddock as Threat Loves Midnight. Physically, this horse keeps getting better to me. He's been slow. I know he's been slow in all of his career efforts, but I like back to the dirt here, back to a sprint. He's a wild card. These are 2 big prices on the outside, guys.
All right, Maggie, thanks. Yeah, there's a couple of interesting runners here that we don't know what we're going to get this afternoon. Really, I'm talking about the 2 and the 8, but also with Stinkman. If that equipment change, if that was just the difference, and this is a new runner now, the 3 horse. But that horse there, the 8 as well, gelded, took blinkers off, went gate to wire. He's intriguing.
He is intriguing because he improved an awful lot probably off a race he got nothing out of. So you treat him as a first-time starter last time out, and he won nicely. I know it was a sloppy racetrack.
4-5, though, on the 6. Rally Cap trying to win back-to-back starts. Now in a new barn, Manny Franco gets the return call. Let's send it upstairs to the voice of horse racing's Triple Crown for the call. Here's Larry Collmus.
I Saw It All goes into the starting gate. Threat Loves Midnight and Luis Saez will come up to the outside stall. Rally Cap currently 3-5 as Threat Loves Midnight goes in, and they're all in line. They're off. Rally Cap started very well and is sent right out of there to take the early lead. With Dr. Lloyd going with him. On the outside comes Bustin' Shout away in third. Gemography is fourth, and Threat Loves Midnight on the far outside. Stinkman and I Saw It All. The trailers are Fleet Warrior and Shock Therapy as they head up the backstretch. Rally Cap in front. Plenty of pressure, though. Dr. Lloyd is alongside. So, too, is Bustin' Shout. They went 22.88 for the quarter, and these 3 passed the half-mile pole. And now Rally Cap scampers away to a 1.5 lead. And then Gemography back there running in fourth, 4 lengths from the front. Threat Loves Midnight, Stinkman on the inside next. Then Fleet Warrior and I Saw It All toward the rail. And the trailer is Shock Therapy. They make their way toward the top of the stretch. Rally Cap by a 1 3/4 to Bustin' Shout. And gaining ground on the inside is Gemography, a 46.12 half. They're into the stretch. And here comes Gemography up alongside of Rally Cap and right on by. And from dead last, Shock Therapy and Joel Rosario are closing with a rush on the far outside. They've got a full head of steam. And Shock Therapy just rolls right on by and pulls away with a last of first score over Gemography. And then it was Bustin' Shout and Stinkman.
Last of first, Shock Therapy, 3 wins today for the hottest rider around right now, Joel Rosario.
Well, there were multiple moves made, right? A couple went after the favorite early, and then you saw the early move by the 7, and Joel just circled them all.
How wide he is.
He was going so fast, he was just not taking any chances. He really was. He's so far the best, and watch him. When he flags him a couple times, I mean, this horse is moving like 3 times faster than everybody else. And if you had Gemography at 26-1, you're probably thinking, oh my God, I got this big long shot. And then Shock Therapy, wow, from dead out of it. I mean, he took off like an absolute rocket. And Bustin' Shout actually ran up, bang up 30.
He ran very well. He's the only speed to hold on.
The only speed they hung around, yeah. Wow.
9-1 over 26-1 over 16-1. This horse was a mile the best in this race. Dead last early, impossibly wide around the turn.
Well,
it did not matter.
Joel saved ground as much as he could, and he did angle out. He was best, but, you know, good setup, but he ran.
These are the kind that you like to have, you know? Like you're just sitting there and you're watching with all your buddies, and you're just like, no, you're getting there. These are fun to watch.
Rocket ship in the stretch.
And they're painful to watch when you're the 7.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
We've all been there.
Yes. Begging for the wire, but you end up losing by like 3, so then you go home not crying.
$20 winner here in race number 7, in which we had in the end, a 4-5 favorite who does not even hit the board here in Rally Cap.
Yeah, this is going to be some kind of try and super right here. This is going to be a nice little, and there is Charlie Baker. We're used to seeing Charlie at Saratoga. Look, and he's looking, always have a smile on his face, but man, he can train.
He is ultra sharp, and yeah, he has had some terrific Saratogas last couple of summers. As we transition back to Churchill Downs for their nightcap coming up, unstable. We all kind of thought certainly one of the horses to beat in here, and got even as well, but got even ran so bad last time out. What do you do with the 1? Let's go out to Jonathan Kinchen for more.
Wolfie, we gotta regroup on the parlay. We'll do it on Thursday, right? We'll be back here on Thursday. We'll do it on Thursday. This is a fun race, very similar to yesterday. We like the horse by the name of Johnny's Bobby, closing into slow paces. It's one of my favorite handicapping points. A lot of people don't see it. It's not figure-based. You got to turn on the video and watch it, know what you're looking at. The 2, Star Dog, is another horse. He missed a break last time. 2 races in a row, he's been trying to close into slow paces. Now, the problem is that this race doesn't have a ton of pace either. I'm still going to make him my top choice. If you're at home and you're playing along with us, he's a horse that I think you want to key, you know, in all the spots. First, in case he gets there, in case they run a little bit. Key him in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th when you're playing exactas, tries, or supers. I think he's a very live horse to get involved there. Some other horses we should probably mention. The favorite, Unstabled, the 12 horse. I have a hard time betting horses at short prices who've shown only a little bit of talent when it comes to polytrack. Last time, obviously, the slot might have been an issue. He's never had a chance to run on a dry track, but at 5-2, I have no interest there. Mr. Tickle, a very funny name, kind of makes me giggle. The guy behind me likes Mr. Tickle as well. With Mr. Tickle, I don't play horses off of really good training trainers. Broberg had the horse, a very sharp training operation claiming operation that he has. I don't like horses being claimed off of them. And then the 1 Got Even, a very gutsy 10-year-old horse. He's given me a lot of thrills in my life. He's drawn in the middle of the gate. He's not down on the rail. If he's down on the rail, I'd be a little bit more excited maybe for him to wire this field, but I'm a little bit nervous. He's going to be in between horses, and his last race, like Wolfie said, was not very good. Let's try to get this 2, Star Dog, involved. Fellas, back to you.
Jonathan, thanks. All right, that's the rail horse in here. Can I throw another one out for you guys?
Sure.
I thought Buster Brown Boy, I mean, that was a really good effort. If he can repeat what he did, the 6 horse in that last start, and he won at Churchill, he could be dangerous.
Yeah, he's a player. I would think so. I thought the race was 12-6-1 maybe.
Got Even, the 1 horse, he's been around a long time.
Old Peter Miller horse. And
10-year-old.
Yeah, he used to have a ton of speed. He used to be the type of horse that would try to take you gate to wire. Sort of lost that speed a little bit now, but man, he's an old warrior.
David Cohen will be aboard this afternoon, and yeah, that last start, that was just a head scratcher because he usually shows up and at least runs his race, even if he doesn't win. He did not show up last start. As we see Buster Brown Boy not quite behaving here.
I like the 12 Unstabled. I just don't like the post.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's my choice too.
Travis Stone with the call. Here's the nightcap from Churchill.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Bubble to start for Bengo Box, Buster Brown Boy, and Malibu Wood fastest out of there. Unstable comes in from the outside post. Risky Town with a forward spot toward the rail. Got even right in behind the leaders. Clubhouse turn. Buster Brown Boy out there setting the pace with Malibu Wood applying the pressure on the outside second. Risky Town covered up third. Got even is running in fourth. Unstable 3 wide. Wow fifth. Silver Giant settles inside. Wow sixth. Mr. Tickle alongside that one in seventh by 5. Tonbo is eighth. Aviator Parks is ninth. Mark My Way running along in 10th. Stardog is 11th, and Bengo Box the last of them all. 25 seconds flat for the opening quarter mile. Malibu Wood shows the way with 5 furlongs to go, leading by 3/4 of a length. Buster Brown Boy, mild pressure from the inside, running along in second. God Even emerging from the pack to be third and outside. Unstabled is wide of the far turn fourth. Risky Town bottled up inside fifth. Silver Giant right in the thick of it sixth. Mr. Tickle keen to go on from seventh, only 4 lengths off the lead. A long way back to Tonba, who's starting to muster up a late rally. The back markers have to get going as there's just 3 furlongs to go. Malibu Wood rounding the far turn in front. Got Even second. Unstable is third. Buster Brown Boy gives way toward the rail. Mr. Tickle winds up with a 5 wide bit off the turn. Silver Giant right in behind. Top of the stretch. Malibu Wood turning for home in front. Unstable on the outside to the attack. Mr. Tickle down the center of the track is rallying. Farther back, Risky Town sneaking through down inside. Bengo Box from far behind. Down to the final 16th. Malibu Wood in tights. Unstable. Mr. Tickle surges outside. Mr. Tickle grabs the lead. Malibu Wood fights back. These two. Photo. Mr. Tickle or Malibu Wood. Then it was Unstable or Risky Town. Buster Brown Boy 5th.
Dead tight at the finish. Mr. Tickle the 5 or Malibu Wood the 9? I don't know.
That was close.
Yeah, it gets very, very close here. And in the 12 Unstable, he gets pinched a tiny bit, but I don't think anything happens here.
You don't think the 9 drifted? I think the 9 drifted. I don't know that it's enough for a DQ. It's probably enough for a long inquiry. But don't you think he drifted?
Yeah, the 9 won the race. Inside won the race.
Don't you think he drifted?
I think.
Got to see the head on.
Yeah, I got to see the head on.
See if we can get a look at it.
Ooh, the 10 went down to his knees really badly there. Who was that? Bengo Box really had no shot at the beginning. You can see the 9. Does he drift a tiny bit? It's hard to tell. The 12 wasn't really going by any of these horses, so.
I agree. I agree with that. But I think 9 definitely drifted.
Yeah, it looks like he did.
I think he definitely drifted.
Bob back here. 5's in front. Bob back. I think the 9 won the race.
Inside always has such an advantage in these
but
things.
They got the number on the 5, so maybe I'm wrong. Let's look at it again.
All right, here we go.
You know, Lannery rode the 12 very confidently, and I guess he had to sitting on the outside, and then the 5 swung off his cover, but the 9 always had control of this race. And then Mr. Tickle, when he gets hit right-handed, the 9 starts getting tired. He starts drifting out. So
doesn't have the effect he wants.
It makes for crowding. I get it, but I don't think
he came out.
I don't think it's going to affect everything. And now we got to see where the bob comes, and the 9 got the bob, I think. Yeah.
Well, cameras usually are pretty good. The horse they're following, they've been following the 9 throughout here. It did. I mean, it's tough to tell from that angle, but it did look like the 9 came out slightly, but I don't know enough to make any sort of change. You guys all agree with that?
Yes.
Not enough to make a change?
Yes, I agree. He came out for sure, but it didn't seem. It certainly didn't seem like there was any contact either.
Paul LoDuca, best eyes in the business.
5 won the race?
5 won the race.
Wow.
5-9, 12-3.
Interesting.
Mr. Tickle off the claim.
Yeah, very heady claim. And gets the job done. Gabriel Saez and aboard.
Meanwhile, back at Belmont, Shock Therapy, $21.80 for the victory, and just an absolute rocket ship down the stretch from dead last. Wide around that turn, Joel Rosario knew he had a ton of horse underneath him.
Frost Giant added a millions mare. Tens of millions.
Who trained millions?
Oof, you got me.
Great Leon Blushewitz.
Wow. Blue. Blue is my boy. I like Leon. He's a great dude. Shock Therapy, 2 for 8 lifetime.
8th race, our feature. This is a mile 3/8. It's over the inner turf. Allowance optional claiming field 2-5. On the Chad Brown runner, dropping out of back-to-back Graded stakes in here, Pilara. So the public believing she'll get it done today.
It's a very odd race. I mean, to me, the only other horse that's got comparable figures is the horse on the inside in this race, Violet Blue. The rest of them, unless you think Romantic Moment, the two could wire the field because there really is no speed at all. And if she can effectively stretch out, because she's never tried to go this long before, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like when you look at the Chad Brown horse, you want to try to beat her, but then you keep looking at the rest of the field, and now you wonder why she's 2-5. I don't know if she should be 2-5. But she's definitely the one to beat.
Should not be 2-5.
No,
yeah.
I agree. I don't think she did any running in those races, but she was facing much better.
Massive drop in class. Definitely should be favored. Should be a short price, but that's awfully low. What a Saturday they have at Churchill Downs coming out. Matt Wynn Stakes, Wise Dan, the Fleur de Lis, the Stephen Foster. It's a grade 1 field, even though it's a grade 2. And, of course, the regret after that, it's the Downs After Dark, and it is a tremendous program. Jose Ortiz, he has a couple of tremendous mounts as well. He'll ride Elate in the Fleur de Lis, Yoshida in the Stephen Foster. Maggie Wolfendale had a chance to catch up with him.
In tomorrow night's Fleur de Lis, Jose will be aboard Elate. Now, Jose, last time out in the Apple Blossom, kind of broke slow, stuck on the rail a little bit, and then therefore Midnight Bisou got a little bit of jump on you. Talk about her effort and what you look for this time around.
I think it was a great effort for a late second time of the layoff, and I think Midnight Bisou is doing really good. She proved it in the Ogden fifth here last week. I think she did a great transition from 3 to 4, and she's clearly the horse of the division right now. If we want to be in her position, we're going to have to win tomorrow and then go to Saratoga and probably maybe personal dancing.
And face her again. Now, luckily, you don't have these arch nemesis, Midnight Bisou, Abel Tasman's retired, and Mike Smith for that matter. So you have to feel good about the competition in the Fleur de Lis tomorrow.
Yeah, I love it. I love those matches. I used to love when Abel Tasman was around, and we go head and head through the wire. Still a little salty that I wasn't quiet in both of them. Tomorrow we got a tough test on She's a Yuli, another Asmussen filly that she's doing really good. Was a grade 1 winner last time out, and she's a very nice upcoming horse. I think she'll be okay.
All right, well, looking forward to getting Elate possibly back to the winner's circle. But in the Stephen Foster, the feature of the night, you're aboard Yoshida, a grade 1 winner on turf and dirt. He's coming back from a okay effort in Dubai. Now, has Bill talked to you at all about how he's doing, and are you looking forward to him getting back to the States here?
I see the interview of Bill say that the horse is happy in Saratoga, and that's where he's training him. And if Bill is happy, I'm happy. He's a Hall of Fame trainer. In Dubai, he run good. I mean, we go all the way out there, travel. They can talk. You don't know if he like it or not. Different track, different scenario, but Thunder Snow is very good horse. Nothing to take away from them. Gronkowski run big. I mean, just hoping that we have a good trip tomorrow and hopefully he run big.
We certainly got the right hat on. Go Yoshida for tomorrow. Jose, best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, the last time Yoshida went 1 1/8 on the main track, he won the Woodward. He did that from the rail. Now he's going to have to try and win from the outside post 12 in the Stephen Foster.
It's a big swing. And,
it is.
You know, I don't know how well he ran in Dubai, to be honest with you. I don't think he really ran that well in there. And this is a pretty tough field. I mean, I know it lost its grade 1, but it came up, as you guys said, with a grade 1 field this year. And I'm going to tell you, I think this is a tougher field than the field he beat in the Woodward.
Yeah, I can see that. I can understand where you're going. I like him. I think he's going to be one of the horses to beat. I think he's going to like Churchill. He's been training over there too. I've always liked this horse, and I think he'll do his best running over there, and I think he'll make a good account of himself. I really do.
Well, even if he was in his peak form, just doing all that travel, coming back from Dubai, you never know what it can take out of a horse.
Yeah, true.
Fleur de Lis precedes the Stephen Foster. It's race 7 on the card. Grade 2 as well. It's a 6-horse group. In Elate, at least she gets away from Midnight Bisou.
She does, but I love Elate. She's literally about my favorite horse racing now, but I think it's reasonable to say that maybe she doesn't have the same fight as a 5-year-old that she has in the past. Maybe she's just, sometimes you see that with race mares, and I did not like her efforts. I know Belmont, he didn't like the last race. The Apple Blossom used to be a mile and 1/8, a mile and 1/16 now, so we've been looking forward to getting some more distance in her. But did distance get her beat? I just don't think we've seen the same elate yet.
Yeah, I know. The other part about it, too, is I want to give her one more shot because Midnight Bixby's turned into some kind of a monster and then Abel Tasman. So she's a Julie's though sharp, so we'll see. She's a 4-year-old filly that's getting better and better. And Andy makes a good point. It's a late a 5-year-old mare that's starting now to lose that winning spirit. I don't know yet. It's going to be a heck of a race. There's two nice horses.
I'm sorry, Red Ruby. She was supposed to enter in here, and she hasn't run since the Delaware Oaks. I guess she tied up, and they didn't enter. I always thought she could have been the horse that could have really given a challenge to Monomoy Girl last year. Hopefully, Kellen Gorder could get her back to the racetrack soon.
Let's not forget about Blue Prize either. You know,
Yeah,
she's
I agree.
obviously a very good mare.
Yeah.
Tremendous card. Saturday evening in Louisville, Churchill Downs. We get back here to Belmont Park. 13 minutes away from the 8th here coming up. Again, a mile and 3/8 over the inner turf. And here's Chad Brown off 120 to 240-day layoffs on turf. 10 furlongs and up the last 5 years. 44%.
Right. Obviously, you don't need a trainer stat for a horse that's 1 to 2, but I think it's important to say when they've been laid off this 4 to 8 months, a sort of 6-month layoff period, they come back in these long routes, it's 11 furlongs, and they run well.
One?
What's that? Chad Brown brings them back ready to run. He does. You know, I mean, they might improve another start, but they're ready to win.
Yeah, they are. He's proven that time and time again, as that stat reflects. Time for a paddock report. We're going to send it downstairs to Maggie Wolfendale.
And yeah, fitness is never usually an issue with these Chad Brown horses. As Polara, she comes back and she looks fit. That's not necessarily my concern with her. And she's round, she's well muscled, she looks strong. It's her demeanor here in the paddock. I mean, the only other time I had seen her was in this winter at Aqueduct, and she was very professional focused. Today, there was some commotion going on in the backyard. I think that really set her off, and she's been awfully fresh here ever since. On her toes, it could very well be a good thing that she's feeling great and she's ready to go, but you don't typically see these Chad Brown horses show and expend this much energy pre-race. So that's my only kind of concern with her. She is a very short price, but physically looks tremendous. As we'll take a look at number 2, that is Romantic Moment for Shug McGahee. As you heard Andy say before, she looks to be the speed in here, and that's hopefully the plan because she's run her better races when she is up on it, and getting out to a mile and 3/8 I do not think will be a problem for her. You know, she's trained by Shug, so therefore she's incredibly well conditioned and fit for this, and physically I like it for her. She's got that longer neck, a very even build, and she's fairly laid back here in the paddock, so you like that with these horses that are trying to go farther for the first time. So she's intriguing. Yeah, I know she'll have to run faster, but she could be having that pace advantage. Greg?
There's a look at the hottest rider around right now, Joel Rosario. He has won 3 this afternoon. He gets a leg up on Romantic Moment. Welcome to those who just joined us on Fox Sports 2. Our feature race is coming up, mile and 3/8 on the inner turf in this allowance optional claiming race, in which it is not Joel Rosario's mount. It is the outside runner for trainer Chad Brown, Polara, who is the heavy favorite at 1 to 2 on the board.
She's run a couple times here in the U.S., once in Canada, once here in New York at Aqueduct, both in very, very tough spots compared to what she's running today, and that's why she's 1 to 2, and she's in the best turf barn in America. So a lot going in her favor. Now, should she be 1 to 2? Probably not. Will she win this race? Probably.
Yeah, I don't disagree with all that. I'll tell you one weird scenario. Joel Rosario can be very clever in these long-distance turf races and send a horse to the front and try to open up and sort of run away with wheels. We've seen him do that a few times. And I think if he's aggressive like that with Romantic Moment, he could try to do that. And she's still got to get the 11 furlongs, but I wonder if Joel's going to try to do that. Now, the other possible speed, as there is none in here, is the 5 Layla Noor, and Kenner Carmouche is on that one. But I have a feeling that Joel's going to try to do one of his sneak-off moves in here. We'll see.
Especially when he's kind of feeling himself. He is on a roll right now. And, yeah, Romantic Moment, certainly not of late, but used to possess very good speeds, and there's not much in here. These can tend to be paceless races at a mile and 3/8.
They do. Nobody wants to go towards the front end.
Nobody wants to go first to the front in any races
Yeah,
around here, but much less these races.
Kendrick's usually the one that takes the initiative, but Layla Noor, last time they went 117 and didn't have the front end, so there's got to be someone, even the one Violet Blue can possess some speed, but someone's going to push, and we'll see what happens.
Post parade coming up. As we go a mile and 3/8 here on the inner turf. Turf condition listed as good for whatever that's worth. The Polara, the big favorite, she had that Group 3 win over in Chantilly in France. That was on a soft turf. So we know she likes a little cut in the ground, but she's been able to handle pretty much any kind of turf course so far. Here's a look at Violet Blue, who did actually break her maiden at a mile and 3/8, and she did so at Belmont.
And you know that she can run and run effectively at a distance and has done it against the better horses. I'll be fair, she has been a disappointment, but she also faced no pace last time at all. She is the most likely upsetter.
Belmont Stakes winning jockey, and he's won 3 today. Joel Rosario in Romantic Moment.
Well, Andy wants his horse to go to the lead, and, well, her 2 races that she actually won, she was right on the lead and right off the lead.
Proud O'Patty off the claim here for the barn that was just the beaten favorite back in race 7.
I will buy Greg Wolf 10 dinners if he can make a compelling case for this horse in here.
That's all I have to do is make a case?
A compelling case.
Okay.
No, I said a compelling case.
War Canoe, Gary Contessa, Dylan Davis.
He comes from way, she comes from way out, but she's going to need a lot of pace, and I just don't see it in here.
Layla Noor, Kendrick Carmouche for Arnaud Delacour.
I think if the 2 doesn't go to the lead, she's the one who can try to go to the lead, but is she possibly good enough?
Here is the 7, Lemon Zip, and at least on some figures, that last effort she ran, that's better than what anybody in this race has ever run.
Yeah, if she beats this field, they'll need smelling salts to revive me. Her 3rd finisher in the last race is a $5,000 claimer.
Blinkers have helped,
well,
though.
you're talking about Barron?
Yes.
Who did win a $61,000 turf race.
She's a $5,000 claimer.
On Maryland Million Day.
She's a $5,000 claimer.
Polara, 2 to 5, big favorite outside.
Yeah, the horse to beat. The filly by Camelot here by Stormcat Mare, Brooklyn Storm. So maybe she was always meant to run near here, Brooklyn.
With more on this field, let's go downstairs to Maggie.
Standing by here with trainer Jimmy Toner, who will send out number 1, Violet Blue. And Jimmy, she's 3rd off of a layoff, gets out to this mile and 3/8 distance. Is this one of her better trips?
Well, it's a good distance for her. She likes the 1.25 to 1.5 miles. So I think a mile and 3/8 suits her pretty good.
Now, she stretched out from the 1.1 to the 1.25 last time. She didn't necessarily fire. Was there any kind of excuse for her?
You know, I can't say that I didn't really have any excuse for her, but juniors came back and told me, said, Jimmy, she was just flat today. So maybe it was the second start off the layoff like that. Sometimes the first time they're anxious, they run really well, and you think they're going to improve the second time, and they come back a little bit flat. So I think that was the case.
How's she going into this one?
Much fresher this time going around.
All right, well, best of luck. Looking forward to her hopefully getting back to the winner's circle.
Okay, thank you very much, Maggie.
All right, Jimmy Toner here, sending out the inside horse, guys, Violet Blue.
I'm such a big fan of that barn.
Love Jimmy, the best. Took me to see Memories of Silver when I was much younger, because she was running many years ago. Didn't know Jimmy at all. Was, just somebody who went to the racetrack at that time in my life as a fan. Took me to the barn, took me to the stall to see her, and I still remember it. And that's the way people like Jimmy Toner have made lifelong racing fans by doing nice things like that to people they don't know at all.
No, that is cool. When people take you to the backside, a lot of people love to go see the horses. They don't really know what they're going to expect, and they see a champion right in front of them. You know what I mean?
Think about yourself when you first started on the track, because we're sicko horse players, but we love racing and we love the horses.
Yeah,
and, even when you played baseball and you got a chance to go back and you got to see the horses, it leaves an indelible mark.
No, 100%.
Soaring Softly, Memories of Silver, winner Memories, some of the great ones that he has trained over the years. As we got to look there at the big favorite doing a little backwards moonwalk there.
It's all right.
It's a sidestep.
I think she's feeling good. Either
With
that
more-
or she's jazz aerobics, whatever that is.
Let's go downstairs to Maggie to get more on Polara.
And guys, she has not stopped. I wish, honestly, I get what Irad's thinking. Maybe keep her quiet. Maybe she'll finally settle down. I would have liked to see her get a bigger galloping warm-up into her. And like I said back in the paddock, you don't typically see Chad Brown horses behaving this way. I don't remember her behaving this way prior to that effort in the Long Island either. She could be just way better than this field. I totally get that, and that's what everybody's banking on here. But I don't like to see horses expending this much energy coming back off of a long layoff. Like I said, I wish she would have chilled out a bit more on the track than what she has. Guys?
Seems to be taking everything all in now.
You can see she's a little washy there on the side, yeah. And when Gary was saying, and Mike does it too, sometimes the jockeys will take, Mig was also saying to take the legs out of the stirrups just to relax her a little bit. And yeah, you could tell she knows it's ready to go. She knows that it's about game time, and sometimes fillies get a little bit nervous. You could tell she's a tiny bit nervous, but Maggie makes a good point. She could just be an hour the best in here. She could be.
If you looked at the older filly and mare sort of stake quality horse in Chad Brown's barn, do you think she's over or under the 15.5 best horse?
Over.
Over.
Yeah.
In that barn, you could be a grade 3 quality horse and be the 20th best horse in there easily, right?
You can see. I mean, you can just see it. Like,
not a great sign.
No, she's freaking out. I mean, it's not she's freaking out. She's just very nervous filly. I mean, and like Maggie said, she has not stopped, and you can tell that he's trying to keep her calm, and she keeps moving forward and backward. She just can't stand still.
And we're not experts on this, but the problem is too. She's not focused right now on what she's supposed to be doing.
I wonder if this is a horse that's done this overseas, you know? I'm going to look it up in time form.
And she's
if her mind's not on running.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And when overseas, they debuted her at a mile and a half, and she won a grade 3 at a mile and a half. And you know, maybe the surroundings, but you could just tell she's just like very, very unsettled, and probably doesn't want the pony near her either, and she's moving back and forth. And
let's take a look and see if we can find anything on this horse, because she is a weird.
Despite this behavior,
she might still win. This could be her normal behavior.
That's what I'm wondering if she did this in Europe.
She's not moved on the board. She remains at 2-5, so it is not swaying the betting public.
No.
Okay.
Looks like now she's starting to maybe settle a tiny bit, but no.
No mention of it in what I can see in her races. I looked up her last race in Europe, and there's no mention whatsoever of her her having issues before the start.
You see Irad Ortiz Jr. petting the mane, trying to keep her calm. So you see this, Andy, 1-2.
Well, now she's going up a little bit, right?
Does this make you rethink things with her?
Well, it makes me want to bet the 1 Violet Blue, right? And sort of protect with an 8-1 exacta in case the 8's just better than these horses. But yeah, right? If you like somebody in here, I think you're supposed to bet a few dollars, right?
Now, we talked about tactics with Romantic Moment, the 2 here, the daughter of Flatter, and the rider who's won 3 this afternoon, Joelle Rosario. She could be sneaky if Joelle decides to go early.
Yeah, she could be. I mean, she's got, like we said, 2 of her races that she's won on the turf are the only 2 races at Lifetime. And one was gate to wire, and the other one was just right off the pace where she took the lead at the top of the lane and just held on. So I would think she's forwardly placed. She's got to be laying first or second.
Oh, yeah. You have to think she'll be. The question I'm wondering is Joelle going to do something sort of clever in here and maybe try to open up 10, 12 lengths and sort of make the rest of the field get brave? I mean, we've seen some riders have some real success doing that, and Joelle's been one of them.
I think it's nicknamed the Canizzo.
Yeah. With black tie, but Joelle did it with a
Mm-hmm.
Christophe Clement in one of these races a couple of years ago and won the race.
Or your boy Voodoo Song.
Yeah, who we're going to see back in action.
Yes. I know you love that
couple of
horse.
days away.
I know.
The star of Saratoga won 4 races at 1 meet and became a sensation. Became a Grade 1 winner, from claimer to Grade 1 winner. We'll see him back on the racetrack this weekend. But we'll see what happens here. 1-2 favorite. Polara, see if she can get her mind settled and focused on the task at hand. She'll be in post 8 for trainer Chad Brown with Irad Ortiz Jr. Let's send it upstairs to the voice of horse racing's Triple Crown for the call, Larry Collmus.
Lee Lenore has moved into the starting gate. Here comes Lemon Zip, and that will leave the heavily favored Polara, who's coming up to the outside stall at 2-5 odds, and they're all in line. They're off. Polara was a step slow to begin and will be guided to the inside at the back of the pack as Romantic Moment goes out to the early lead. On the outside is Lemon Zip with some early speed as well, and Violet Blue is right behind them. Proud O'Patty is in between horses, and then comes War Canoe, followed by Polara, who's down on the inside of Lenore, the trailer. 8 lengths from top to bottom, as Joel Rosario, looking for his 4th win today, takes the early initiative with Romantic Moment through a 25.05 quarter and heads into the clubhouse turn a length and a half in front. Lemon Zip on the outside follows in second. Violet Blue tucks in third on the inside, and then it's War Canoe, followed by Proud O'Patty, who's 5th down toward the rail. Polara is 6th at this stage and 6 lengths from the front, leading Lenore to the backstretch. So it is Romantic Moment in front, 3/4 of a length on top after a 51.08 easy half mile. An early move now from Proud O'Patty into second, and now she's just a neck behind. Then Violet Blue on the inside of Lemon Zip. War Canoe is next, and then a well-held Polara, who's now 4 lengths off the lead, while on the rail, Lenore is the trailer. They're halfway up the backstretch. Romantic Moment leads a half a length. Proud O'Patty on the outside second. 3/4 of a mile, up in 1:16.87 seconds. Violet Blue is third on the inside. And then comes Lemon Zip. Polara continues to race along in 5th and is 4 lengths from the front and in no hurry at this stage. Then War Canoe and Lenore. Romantic Vision on top. Proud O'Patty. A neck back on the outside. Lemon Zip perched outside of them. On the rail, it's Violet Blue in 4th. Now, 1 off the rail is Polara. She's just 2 lengths behind a wall of horses on the turn. War Canoe's going to swing up on the far outside, and Lenore. Romantic Vision's going to take him to the top of the stretch. On top over Lemon Zip as they turn for home. War Canoe comes on the attack. Polara still with work to do in behind a wall of horses, and now being ridden to go. In the meanwhile, getting the jump on her is Lenore on the far outside. Here's War Canoe. War Canoe on the outside to the front. Lenore finishing well and battling on from the inside is Lemon Zip, who's fighting on back, and Lemon Zip fights back to win. Over War Canoe, Polara came late, and then it was Lenore and Violet Blue.
Lemon Zip, Jose Ortiz, that last start, better than what some might have thought.
Well, when you get every horse that's better than or completely locked in the stretch, it makes it a little easier. I couldn't have this horse in a million years. Congratulations.
Yeah, this horse actually circled the field from way outside and focused on the one on the inside, Violet Blue. She's going to get steadied in between horses. I'm wondering if something's going to happen here or if they're going to light up the toe to see. She's going to try to go in between the 7 and the 4. Your favorite, the 8's in between the 5 and the 4. Now watch the
7
one right here after the right
7 shuts the door right there.
Can't tell if the 7 shuts the door or not.
She came out, yeah. I don't know if she could have been legal. And listen, give credit to Jose Ortiz. He got her out in the clear, so he let her run her best race, and she ran her best race, and it was good enough. Whether or not others in here had a chance to run their best race, that's open to debate.
Tell you what, since they've added blinkers to this mare, 3 for 3 now, and 3 different jockeys, Tampa, Pimlico, and if all goes well, and obviously she was not at fault with the one, 3 different racetracks, 3 different riders, 3 different W's. What a great training job by Niall Seville.
So nothing yet on the board, but not unofficially posted. Let's get a look at the head on here.
And the 8's in the
sort
middle.
of a diagonal. It's a diagonal. Well, obviously right there, she comes out and shuts off the 1. Now, whether or not they're going to rule that she's, gave her, she definitely shut her off. I mean, she comes out even there, and she comes out in the 4.
Yeah, she comes out on the 4. Now they're just going to have to distinguish whether the 1 was ever in that spot or not. And the thing about it is the 8, Polara, was the horse that was behind the 1, and she sort of ran up into 3rd. They went really slow on the front end. Fractions have been slow. War Canoe was up close in this race with Dylan Davis. I thought he gave that horse a tremendous ride.
Yeah, we have been
the guy's out in the
from
clear.
downstairs. Maggie tells us the phone ringing to talk to the jockeys.
It's interesting that the rides that the horses that ran 1-2, Paul, are the guys that got their horses out into the clear.
Yes.
Not the guys who are waiting inside and holding on and looking for a seam. They're going slow. You got to get your horse out in the clear to give them a chance to make their run, and that's what Jose Ortiz and Dylan Davis did. It is not what Irad Ortiz did, and it's not what Junior Alvarado did.
So we'll see what happens here. Now, if they're going to put up an inquiry on the 1, on the 7, it's going to affect everybody here, so we'll see.
Well, he's got a phone call waiting for him. That's Jose Ortiz going to have to talk to the stewards here because, as we heard, the phone is ringing. So this will not become official just yet.
Yeah, and it's like I said, when you see the pan view, is the 1 in the hole enough where it shuts the horse off? Does it cost the 1 a placing? It probably does, because the 1 was moving through that hole.
Why are we not posting an inquiry here?
It's a good question.
Where's Jose going?
He dropped his whip, or?
I'm baffled.
Maybe he doesn't want to talk to the stewards.
Either that, or
was that when he was coming out and shutting horses off?
So heading back to the turf course.
His last whip?
Maybe he's going
some
fishing.
lost equipment, it seems like.
He did. He's looking.
He's out there and he's looking for it.
He's actually looking for it. Oh yeah, he just found it. Here's the thing.
There we go.
We just had somebody in my area. I said, "How much are they?" But here's the thing: his game whip could be better than his other whips. It doesn't matter the cost or not. That could be his game and his special whip. So that's why he went back out there and got it.
Have you seen a jockey win a race and then run directly out onto the course, go find his whip before? I don't know. I've seen that.
I don't think I've ever seen it before in my life. No. But that just shows you. And he has the valet that could probably go do it for him. But, you know, he just won the race. He's probably like, why not?
And he said, hey, you know what? I probably have to talk to this. Oh, now it's official. So
how is there no inquiry?
7-4-8-1. It's gone official. He's your winner. Let's go downstairs to Maggie.
Well, I couldn't get Jose because he was retrieving his whip, but I do have winning trainer of Lemon Zip, Niall Seville here. And Niall, wow, this filly has really turned her life around since adding blinkers for you.
Yeah, and we thought she'd want to go longer. We started that whole handicap series with hoping that her best race would be at the 1 3/8 when we got to the end of it. And she had a few genuine excuses. She didn't run that good enough in the shorter races, but I was being told that she might go and get bred, and I was like, well, we put the blinkers on her at home to work, and the exercise rider, she said she wasn't really good in them, so we just thought, you know, this might be her last shot, so we put them on, and they do help her focus. She relaxes in them for whatever reason, so yeah, we're really happy with her, and we had to come here to find this distance for her.
Well, that's what I was about to say. You know, you have to feel confident because we write so many of these long-distance turf races here in New York that she got a win here. So you keep her here?
Yeah, I guess so. I haven't really run much here for a good while because we don't really have, you know, the horses that fit here. So I didn't want to come here, to be honest, to run against Chad at even money. But, you know, we thought we'd come and see where we fit. And she fits okay, so we'll see how we go on.
Now, you said good thing, Jose, you dropped your whip.
Yes. Jeremy Rose rode her first time, and when we got her at Monmouth, and he said she doesn't like to be the hit, so we've told everybody since, and yeah, he dropped his stick, so it helped.
I like that. All right, and he even went and got his own whip. Niall, congratulations here. Big effort.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys.
Well, it seems like she fits indeed on this circuit. And since adding blinkers, as you mentioned, Paul, perfect 3 for 3 on the turf with 2 wins at a 1 3/8 and a win at a 1.5 miles.
Yeah, she's turned into a different animal. This mare had a Ghost Sapper out of Lemon Drop Kid, Lemon Edge for High Kings Racing. And you're right, sometimes you can change a horse's life around, and the blinkers have. And there's your pick 5, follow along. Took Charge was a first-time starter. That was your 4th choice in a 5-horse field, and a very highly touted horse in the 5. So that started it, and then all these other prices. If you're alive, good luck. You're alive for a good payoff.
Well, there's 3 horses not covered here. I think I want to say the 3, 5, and 12 are not covered in the NYRA Bet Slate Pick 5 carryover if any of them win. Not sure which one of them can win, but they're not covered.
On the turf, 1 16th, New York bred race, first allowance condition. And go get that equipment. Jose Ortiz in the winner's circle. He gets the job done in our feature race. We'll be back with more right after this.
Runhappy is simply
Dedication, no problem. Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Kentucky Derby winner Orb. On the track, his runners have scored on both dirt and turf, including multiple stakes winner Autumn Warrior and Sipacan Harbor, winner of the Grade 1 Spinaway Stakes at Saratoga. On the track, Orb continues to add winners. And in the sales ring, his 2-year-olds have sold up to $250,000 in 2019. Classic winner, classic pedigree, Orb, standing at Claiborne Farm.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you. Live it, love it, bet it.
Back on America's Day at the Races on Flag Day, as we get set for a big weekend coming up here at Belmont Park. Greg Wolf, Paul LoDuca, Andy Serling, Maggie Wolfendale with you. We had Jonathan Kinchen on our show as well. Churchill Downs has concluded their programming. Get signed up, get started, and bet all the races that we show you each and every day here on the show. $200 new member bonus when you use that promo code LIVE at sign up, and you'll be able to bet any track, anywhere, anytime with NYRABets.com, or download the NYRA Bets app. You can also play this when you get signed up and started. The Cross Country Pick 5 on Saturday begins at 4:30, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and it starts with Race 7 at Delaware Park. It includes Delaware, Belmont, and Monmouth Park with the Honeybee Stakes.
Yeah, and you get some of the good racing. Here's the Dancing Renee and JC's Shooting Star, and Holiday Disguise going to be your favorite at 9-2. Or Midnight Disguise.
Well, the sisters. Holiday Disguise and Midnight Disguise are sisters.
Could be a hunch. Exactly. And here's Holiday Disguise. She was good last time out. I mean, and you think she'll end up being favorite in here, Andy?
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be favorite. Holiday Disguise will be favorite.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I would think. She's a wonderful horse, and her best race would beat this field. I don't think she's as good as she once was. I found this to be a very confusing field. I was hoping Pause for the Cause could get the sort of jump on Holiday Disguise and maybe beat her, but honestly, I would knock it for big just about anybody in here.
She strides out here. I think she likes it here a little bit better.
That was Aqueduct.
Excuse me, likes it at, I think she likes it at Belmont better. I mean, because I think the sweeping turns would help her a little more, but you make a good point with Pause for a Cause. I mean, Out of Orbit maybe is the only one
She's
that's
a little slow.
A little slow, but the other 5, you can make a case for all 5 of them.
That is coming up on Saturday. It is part of the Cross Country Pick 5. Goes as race 9 at Belmont. We're going to take a break. When we return, we'll talk 3-year-old picture. Maximum Security, his path to the Haskell is secured. He's going to run this weekend, as will, out of the West Coast, Santa Anita Derby winner Roadster back in business for Bob Baffert. Stick with us.
Into the final furlong of the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity, and Classic Empire wins it in style.
Here's the Meyer, Classic Empire. He's a champion 2-year-old. Here's the champ, Classic Empire, Classic Empire.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit NYRABets.com. Sign up at NYRABets.com for a new member bonus.
This proven son of Giants Causeway has sired 4 millionaires, including Claiborne Farm stallion Lee. Recent top runners include Cutting Humor, winner of the Grade 3 Sunland Park Derby, plus 3-time graded stakes winner Sharp Samurai, and international star Shamal Nibras. This year, his 2-year-olds have brought prices up to $310,000. First Samurai, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Our summer cruise is here at Spruce Lane Farm, and he's been a really intelligent horse since he got on the farm.
He's just got great balance and presence. He's got a really good mind, and he does everything that we like to do so far. Our plans with this colt are probably to take him to Saratoga or to Keeneland Book 1 or 2. He fits those. We paid $250,000 for him, so he was an expensive horse, but that's where he belongs.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Good last time out this one.
We are back on America's Day at the Races, and the horse who crossed the wire first in the Kentucky Derby, only to get DQ'd in that historic disqualification, Maximum Security, making his long-awaited return to the races. Jason Service announced the other day he's going to return this Sunday in the Pegasus at Monmouth in a prep for the Haskell.
Yeah, and listen, it's good to see him back at the races. I know a lot of people are wondering, where's he going to run next? Where's he going to run? Let's just see him run. We're finally going to get to see him run. So we'll see what happens here, and then we'll see what happens after this. Now, Roadster for Bob Baffert, he's going to run. He was very disappointing in the Kentucky Derby, but he's the kind of horse that does not like a lot of kickback, and he got a ton of it in Kentucky, and maybe he can bounce back in the Affirmed.
And he eliminated one of Bob's other horses, game winner at the start, so he really ruined Bob's day.
He's going to face a stablemate who early on in that stablemate's career, Mucho Gusto, was expected to have a lot of talent, was a bit of a head case, but he's coming off a win in the Grade 3 Las Barrera. Those two going to go head-to-head for the Baffert barn in the Affirmed on Sunday out at Santa Anita.
Wasn't Mucho Gusto's run here last weekend in either the Easy Go or the Woody Stevens?
Or am I thinking? Yeah,
that was much better, I think, right?
No, I think you're right. It's Mucho Gusto, but he was named. He was. We heard he was going to run here. He's not bad.
No, and Bob has a
Grade 3 win.
Yeah, Bob has a knack of a horse that's maybe they thought was going to be talented early,
Bob Lewis as well,
and then get a little bit better and better and better and better. And I think he's the most underrated guy when a lot of people think he can train an older horse.
All right, it's not the Bob,
I talked to him several times. What are you talking about?
Good
we were
man,
friends.
right? Yeah, a lot of good horses, huh?
Oh, countless.
Silver Charm, loved him. Charismatic.
Him and his wife were tremendous for this sport.
Yep.
12 minutes away from the 9th at Belmont. It's time for a paddock report. We're going to go downstairs to Maggie.
And taking a look at number 1, Flush in here, who will try the turf for the first time, a daughter of violence. I like these violences on the turf, to be honest. And going back to my notes, for the very first time that she ran, said it actually has more of a turf hoof. I still think that. I think she should like this move to this surface, as she is coming back off of a layoff as well. A little one here, but she's done well. She looks really fit. She's the most athletic looking I've seen her, and she's just developed into that, and super coat on her. I'm feeling fairly confident in the chances of Flush here today. Now, Dynamite Kitten, she's been a little bit tough to handle. Now she's reunited here with Junior Alvarado. The last time they were together was over at Aqueduct, in which Dynamite Kitten got out pretty badly on both turns. Well, last time she came back in with a new bit, a Houghton bit, which is my favorite bit for a horse who wants to lug in and lug out. It's a straight bar, so when the rider touches it, they feel it, and a lot of times it'll just keep horses going straight so they don't feel pressure on either side of their mouth. And so hopefully that helps her chances here today. She looks great, and she'll likely be a short price, as the horse who just kind of caught my eye returning to the turf as Charlie Baker looks to get his second win here on this card. Lady Love. She looks fantastic, and a lot of times in these other thans, when you're dealing with several horses who have only won one race, I'm often drawn to these older, experienced horses who, like Lady Love, is 4 for 19. She knows how to win, so she looks fantastic coming in off a bit of a freshening and getting back to her preferred surface, Greg.
All right, Maggie, thank you. There's a look at Charlie Baker. Big win earlier on in the card with Shock Therapy. I mean, that stretch run was tremendous from that horse. Our show brought to you each and every day by the champion sprinter Runhappy. There's legendary stall number 1 where he's stationed, standing for $25,000. We're going to see his runners on the race track in 2020 and coming up at the sales this summer. We'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
So my name is Robbie Herzl. I'm the yearly manager here at Claiborne Farm, and we've got the first crop of Runhappies this year. Overall, I'm very, very pleased with them. So first we have a colt out of Rapid Repair. He's a really nice colt. Very happy with how he's come along as a yearling. So there was a lot of demand for the weanlings last year. They sold for over 6 times their stud fee, and we're really excited for the yearlings to come through the sales, and we're expecting big things from them.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit nyrabets.com. Sign up now for a $200 new member bonus with promo code LIVE at nyrabets.com.
Eclipse champion Blaine was considered by many as the breakout stallion of 2018. His top runners included Grade 1 winner and Eclipse Award finalist Marley's Freedom, plus Grade 1 winner Fault, and graded stakes winners Morale, Beyond Blaine, Miss Kentucky, and Blaine. This year, his 2-year-olds have sold up to $700,000. Outstanding results, outstanding value. Blaine, standing at Claiborne Farm.
We're back on America's Day at the Races, brought to you in part by America's Best Racing. For the love of the race, visit americasbestracing.net today. Here's our post-parade for the nightcap at Belmont. Here's Flush getting on the turf for the first time for Kieran McLaughlin.
Going to redeem myself for my horrible opinions today by getting Flush to wire the field, first time in the grass.
Bullet Drill coming in on the main track. Dynamite Kitten, John Kimmel, Junior Alvarado.
2 good races. I get it. The filly to beat in here, but maybe the filly to bet against.
Papari, 34-1. Joey Martinez.
1 of 3 not covered. The NYRA Bets late pick 5. She is a long shot for a reason.
Wow, not getting much attention. Paved with Gold, who's coming off an impressive maiden score for Todd Pletcher. Was 3-1 morning line.
I know there wasn't much in there, but you got to give her a little credit going on. First time of doing a lot of stuff, going a 1 1/8, around 2 turns, and she got the job done.
Okay, Honey just claimed down the Eduardo Jones barn. 2 tries on turf, has not hit the board.
Yeah, she would have to improve on those turf efforts.
37-1. That's being generous. Fetching, Marcassi, maiden score in the debut.
Yeah, she was good first time out of a nice little mare, Limoncello. And she had a little bit of trouble in the lane and still got it done.
Miss Jen is at 5-1 for Jimmy Ryerson with Sam Camacho Jr.
Has no speed, would need an absolute pace meltdown to have any real chance.
Lady Love, Charlie Baker trying to score for the second time today as Joel Rosario again.
Somewhat like the 9. She doesn't have a ton of speed, but Rosario's on a roll. Watch for her late.
She had back-to-back wins at Tampa late last year, early this year. Here's Y'all Come Now, Bruce Brown.
Hasn't run since breaking her maiden over 7 months ago. She would have to improve on that effort in all likelihood to win here.
And Ascender, ooh, sneaky interesting for Michelle Nevin. Second time out, maiden breaker, and 2 starts since has done nothing.
Not covered in the picks in the NYRA Bets late.
Yeah,
pick
this
5
horse
too.
is not covered in the pick 5, and it's getting bet. And you know what? It was in the Chad Brown barn, but this horse has not gotten a fast racetrack in a long time, so she might run today.
What do you do with that one? Who's
she
morning
needs
line
to
cut in
improve.
half.
Yeah.
Let's go to Maggie for more.
Sitting by here with Kieran McLaughlin. He'll send out Flush from the rail. And Kieran, we were talking about it. First time turf. What do you think?
Yeah, hopefully Violence being by Medaglia, and hopefully she likes it. That's what I said to her, Rajiv, good luck. Don't worry, it's no one's fault if she doesn't like it, but we hope she does.
Was there ever any thought as a 2-year-old to put her on the grass?
Yeah, but we just didn't quite get there and ready to go until, I think, December. So, but she's got speed. Hopefully she breaks well and's close, but she hopefully likes the turf. She's a nice filly.
Tomorrow you have Pause for the Cause in the Dancin' Renee. Other than the 2 sisters from the Linda barn, you have a pretty good shot in there. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, she's training real well. She drew well because it seems like she was in the 1 hole almost every time she ran. So she's 6 of 6, and hopefully she can just settle off a couple of speed fillies. She's doing very well.
Kieran, thanks for joining us, and best of luck with both your fillies.
Thank you very much.
Guys?
Maggie, thank you. So there's Kieran's filly, Daughter of Violence. She has speed. She's shown it on dirt, and she's done it sprinting, and she's coming in off a Bullet Drill. Drawn inside, she's got to go, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that Rajiv sends her to the front, and as Kieran said, if she likes the turf, she can win. If she doesn't, so be it. It's a funny pedigree, you know, Paul. There's 3 of the 7 foals won on the turf. but they were all Kitten's joys, though Violence has been a decent turf influence.
Yeah,
but
actually.
they were the first 3 foals, and the last 4 haven't been any good. I'm hoping she can get back to the first 3 foals.
I put my pick on her too. I don't know why she's 7-1, to be honest with you. I think she's got enough speed, and if she transfers to
She's
the
getting
turf,
a little lost here, you know?
Yeah, I think she's getting a little lost. But if she breaks out running like she's done on the turf, she opens up an easy lead on this field.
Favored right now, Dynamite Kitten. Wow.
I think she should be favored, to be honest with you. You know, we talk about Trackus, and we were just looking at some funny Trackus stats for race number 7. In her race 2 back, she covered 111 more feet than the winner of that race. She was a legitimately 15 lengths the best in that race. She bore out in both turns. Junior Alvarado made no attempt to get in. Now, I believe, and this is just the stretch run of that race, but you have to see the first turn, the second turn was crazy. And then last time with the Bug Rider, he ran off on her. That was a crazy, crazy fast pace. I was speaking to Junior Alvarado's agent yesterday, and I said, I see Junior's back on Dynamite Kitten. And he said, change the bit. So obviously they've done something to try to get her to settle down. I think if they can get her to settle and Junior can get her to rate, she's the horse to beat in here. But I don't want her 5-2 either.
We talked about that on the show yesterday with trainer Chad Summers. That's how you try and get horses to stop bearing out.
Well, people wonder why they bear out and wonder why the bit. The bit is the mouth, so their mouth is a little sore, so they'll change it. So maybe a lighter bit, foam bit, or something that's easier on their mouth so they will not bear out. And he was talking about a John Morrison horse yesterday where he's done a good job. And that horse obviously was bearing out before, but he's done a good job. Here's the pick bar that we like, and Andy and I both like the 1. We're hoping we can get Gate to Wire.
You know, the 2 maiden breakers in here, the 4 paved with gold and the 8 fetching. This was the better one. I don't like either one of them.
This horse is very dead on the board, but it's just come down a notch, down to 5-1. But the only time on turf, it was a 1 1/8. Got the job done. Beat a 7-horse field. It's Todd Pletcher, Barry Schwartz, Irad Ortiz Jr., but not a good sign. This horse not taking a lot of money.
And he took all the money, or she took all the money last time. I didn't know why, and then I saw her win. That was an extremely hungry field she beat last time. I just think this is a better field. Not that she can't improve and win, but I think it's a tougher field.
Meanwhile, another horse who just won, first time on turf, and it was the first start overall for Fetching. 7-2. I
don't like her at all.
Yeah, I didn't love that race.
It was one of those races, if you just saw it and you don't look at figures or times, you'd say, oh, she was kind of impressive. She weaved through traffic. She had some trouble. But I think it was a very, very moderate field. It's just ultimately a slow race no matter what figure you look at.
She beat Plink Freud.
It's back in on Wednesday, Paul.
Yeah, back in on Wednesday, so maybe we'll see how Fetching runs today. But I'll take a different view. I thought she ran okay. She's getting bet. I'm surprised she's getting bet over the Pletcher runner.
I agree with that. I don't like her either. I like Maggie's horse, the 10.
By the way, Mark Cassidy, we should mention, it's a Mark Cassidy filly. He's having a very good meet at Belmont. Not just the Belmont Stakes win, but overall having a nice meet.
Jamie Begg does a sensational job. I think the horse Maggie likes. Lady Love is a definite player in this race for Charlie Baker.
Yes.
Just a logical horse, right?
Yeah. Always brings her game, and I understand she's been in the $25,000 level, but she's running against some decent horses at Tampa. She's held her own in the Charlie Baker barn, better figures at Saratoga and Belmont, and I agree. I don't mind that pick at all at the 10, and she's got Rosario aboard, and Joel has ridden her before, so he's familiar with her.
I bet the one
number 4 today.
I bet the 1 to win. I boxed 1-2-10. You like the 4, Greg? No?
Do not.
Come on, 1. Go Gate to Wire.
But good luck.
Paul. No, I'm with you.
I thought the 9 and 10 both had a big shot in here. Well, there's a few ways to go in this race. We'll see if Flush takes to the turf 6-1 inside.
Yeah,
it's
the
a
12.
good finishing race here in terms of betting.
The long shots that you see, the 3, 5, 11, and the 12 carry over the pick 5, which is very interesting.
The voice of the Triple Crown, Larry Collmus, has the call to close things out on this Friday card at Belmont. Let's send it upstairs.
And the last 2 to come forward now are OK Honey and Ascender. They're all in line. They're off. Flush, Paved with Gold. These two out for the front. And then it's Potpourri on the inside, followed by Fetching alongside as they race toward the backstretch. Dynamite Kitten, Miss Jen goes up 4 deep onto the backstretch with Ascender, now making an early run on the far outside, just 2 lengths from the front and passing horses. And there too is Y'all Come Now. The trailers up the backstretch are OK Honey and Lady Love. So up front here, it is Paved with Gold through a 24.42 quarter. Flush, a neck back, second on the inside. Miss Jen is third, Ascender is fourth. Dynamite Kitten fifth on the inside, just 2 lengths off the lead. 2 lengths ahead of OK Honey, with Fetching alongside, Y'all Come Now alongside of them, and Lady Love trailing the field. They continue the run for the far turn. Flush, Paved with Gold. Miss Jen outside those two. 48.54 was the half mile, then Ascender 4 wide. Toward the inside, Dynamite Kitten, Potpourri behind them. Then it's OK Honey to the inside, followed by Fetching. A 3 wide, Y'all Come Now, and Lady Love still last. Around the far turn, Flush, Paved with Gold, Miss Jen. They're across the track as they make their way around the turn, and Ascender's out there 4 deep. Dynamite Kitten fifth, waiting for a spot. Potpourri swings up on the far outside. In behind them come Fetching and Lady Love. They're into the stretch. Flush cuts the corner. Paved with Gold on the outside comes after her. Then Dynamite Kitten. In behind horses Fetching toward the inside, trying to put in a late bid. Then comes Lady Love and Potpourri on the far outside. It's Flush and Dynamite Kitten. And then comes Fetching, but here's Dynamite Kitten. Dynamite Kitten runs down Flush to win. Fetching was third, and Lady Love was fourth.
Dynamite Kitten, the public, and Andy Serling was all over this. 8-5 in here. Junior Alvarado, John Kimmel.
I did bet the 1. Don't give me any credit. No, I had the exacta, but I bet the 1. This horse just got the absolutely perfect trip, and it's funny, you know, Paul, and we talk about it. You and I were watching the race, and we're a little frustrated that Rajiv didn't open up a little more with the 1. But ultimately, he rode the second best horse. I can't. It was the right ride.
It was the right ride. It was. The 2 just went by. I mean, I just was like, wow, he gave the horse a good ride and got the front end. The 8 actually
ran well.
Ran very well, improved off that effort, and wow. The 1 was the play. It really was at 6-1, and you knew you were going to get the lead. The 2 just got a better trip.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they both got good trips.
They got good trips. The best horse won the
Yeah.
race. I mean, listen, we bet the right horse with the 1 at 6-1. We just lost a horse that ran a little bit better.
Yes, you're right.
You want to bet on Blush every time at 6-1 versus 8-5 in the winner.
Oh, yeah, I'm with
but
you.
at the end of the day, we have the second best horse. And you can live with that, I think. Try to get out, Paul.
2-1, 8-10, 8-5. Dynamite Kitten.
I just want to sleep at night.
9-2 morning line and winds up going off as an 8-5 favorite.
Well, yeah, I mean, Norris did figure to be the favorite in here, considering she had the turf in her background, where the 1 Flush was the first time on, and she ran well. You can't take nothing away from this filly, 3-year-old filly. The 1 really ran hard.
Yeah, I mean, John Kimmel's first win of the meet.
John Kimmel, picture time with Dynamite Kitten, daughter of Animal Kingdom.
And there you see, just sitting in a nice pocket spot. Rajiv having enough left with the 1 Flush, but able to swing 3 wide. And about right here, just knew that the 1 was in trouble with the big, long strides. And Junior Alvarado really riding well. We talk about Jose Lezcano having a monster meet and a lot of other guys, but Junior Alvarado having a good day.
And on turf, he is always so good. We're going to take a break.
I need him in a race before that. He wasn't quite good enough to get through. So a little annoyed with him.
Can't win them all. We'll be back. Well, the prices for you when we return. Junior with 2 wins today. There's John Kimmel with the shades on. We'll be back.
Mastery retired undefeated, winning his 4 starts by a combined 20 lengths. A 6-figure September sale purchase. He won impressively in his 2-year-old debut at Santa Anita. From there, he captured the Grade 3 Bob Hope Stakes and completed his juvenile campaign with a dominant performance in the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Futurity. At 3, the top-rated son of Candy Ride sizzled in the San Felipe. Now his much-anticipated first crop has arrived. Mastery, standing at Claiborne Farm.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit nyrabets.com. Sign up for a $200 new member bonus with promo code SPRING19 at nyrabets.com.
Runhappy was the fastest 3-year-old sprinter of his generation.
Runhappy is stamping his horses. And they all got great necks, great hind legs. They all got a good walk, and this colt moves very, very well. Very smart. He hasn't turned a hair since we had him. First day we turned him out, he was very, very gentle in his paddock and did everything right. He's got an exceptional pedigree.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you. Live it, love it, bet it.
Back on America's Day at the Races. I don't know if we can get a shot, but that is a crowded winner's circle. Dynamite Kitten getting the win for John Kimmel, Whisper Hill Farm, Junior, and there it is, Junior Alvarado aboard.
Good stuff.
The whole county out here.
Yeah, Junior taking a picture with him. And this is why it pays to get a NYRA account. $913 for the pick 4, okay? But if you belong to NYRA, look at the pick 5. 30,000, and you had to get to I understand a 17-to-1 shot. Oh, no, excuse me.
No.
A 6-to-1 shot in a fourth choice. But
it was
tough
also
horse
a
to get
scratch
to.
there and everything else, but still.
Yeah. 30,000?
No, I agree.
Ooh.
I agree.
Pick 6 carryover as well for Saturday.
Ooh, that's
Starts
nice
in race
carryover.
5,
Wow.
$39,000.
What do you think you're getting that? 500,000 somewhere in there?
More.
Yeah, right?
About eight.
Easily more.
800.
Shamrock
Depends what you put
77-71 wins our showdown contest. Some nice handicapping there.
You're never in there. Why?
Nice job there.
No, this is for our fans.
Don't
and our
let
viewers
the
play.
people out
who
there
did
kid
well in it?
yourself. You play in it every day.
Didn't you do well in it once in Saratoga?
I played it a couple of times.
I thought somebody did well in it in
He
Saratoga.
did.
Was
Yeah,
it
I
you?
played it before.
He likes it.
We
cool
are
contest.
back on Fox
It-
Sports
it
2
is.
Sunday from 3 to 6. But MSG Plus, Fox Sports Prime Ticket, Fox Sports San Diego. We'll see you tomorrow for Easter. Where's my whip? The whip. The whip. The stone. The whip. What movie's that from?
I don't know.
Come on. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Lemon Zip. Jose Ortiz takes the 8th, and it was Dynamite Kitten with Junior Alvarado in the nightcap. Take care, everybody.